Hello, honorable ministers, excellencies, Director General, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure to be today with you all in a context where we are going to have a chance to understand, to learn a little bit how we can work in energy transition.
And that was Indonesian Minister Tasrif speaking for the G20 Presidency 2022. And let me now go to the current G20 presidency and Italy's Undersecretary for Foreign Affairs, Manlio Di Stefano. And again, if you would just pick up on those two key questions, both what you're doing to accelerate action and also what you're doing in terms of ensuring that it is a just energy transition. Mr. Di Stefano, can you hear me? So perhaps we don't have him with us yet. I will then move on.
Undersecretary will be here.
Excuse me? We will move on now to our next speaker and hope to come back a little bit later to Mr. Di Stefano. And there you are. Hello, please.
Hello, here I am.
I'm sorry, go ahead. We would like very much to hear your point of view on those two key questions. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Dear colleagues, dear Director General La Camera, caro Francesco, first of all, I would like to thank you for organizing this first edition of the Global High-Level Forum on Energy Transition, an idea that we supported from the very beginning. The forum represents a great opportunity, on one hand, to focus on the critical relationship between science and rising ambition, with a view to the ongoing processes, such as the UN High-Level Dialogue on Energy and the COP26. On the other hand, to welcome the launch of the full version of IRENA's World Energy Transition Outlook, which Minister Di Maio has already appreciated last March when he took part to the Berlin Energy Transition Dialogue. The agency's World Energy Transition Outlook has anticipated a clear pathway to climate neutrality, providing a solid analysis and valuable insights, able to support informed and proactive policies. I particularly appreciate its holistic approach, which adopts a whole of government and whole of society's perspective, indeed broadening the perspective of the theme of ambition to all the actors involved in the global climate action is an indispensable condition in order to keep the global temperature rise below 1.5 centigrades while ensuring comprehensive socioeconomic benefits. Italy's approach is fully in line with the ambitious policies outlined in the World Energy Transition Outlook. Our country has recently finalized its National Recovery and Resilience Plan, which intends to make the Italian socio-economic system more sustainable and more prosperous. Almost 70 billion euros has been allocated for the green revolution and the ecological transition. And we dedicated a specific ministry, the Ministry of Ecological Transition, to this transversal theme. The focus is on the complete decarbonization of the system, climate neutrality by 2050, and on strengthening the adoption of circular economy solutions to protect nature and biodiversity. The main pillars are circular economy and sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, hydrogen, smart grids and sustainable mobility, energy efficiency and buildings renovation, protection of the territory and of the water resource. However, the energy transition cannot take place in the absence of an equally complex bureaucratic transition and must be inclusive and fair, contributing to change social behavior, to fill the gap among regions and to plan the retraining and the adaptation of workers' skills. This is the approach of the Italian G20 presidency on energy and climate, hinged around the 3P, people, planet, prosperity. More specifically, while accelerating a clean energy transition, we aim to foster stimulus for a sustainable recovery and to ensure access to clean and affordable energy for all, bearing in mind that now, more than ever, there is a political momentum that we have to duty to keep up for the well-being of present and future generations. the first ever joint energy and climate ministerial in Naples, the 23rd July, will represent a unique opportunity in this regard. In this perspective, our G20 agenda has adopted an ambitious program, stressing the need to reach a carbon neutral economy by 2050 and to launch long-term strategies and action plans to ensure net zero emissions by this date. At the same time, it is important to align them with both the recovery plans in the near term and the 2030 medium-term targets, taking into account the different national circumstances and differentiated pathways. Moreover, we need to phase out of coal-fired power plants and fossil fuel subsidies as soon as possible, redirecting international energy financing towards the transition. We appeal to all G20 countries around this virtual table to support the presidency to show leadership to the world and have a successful communique up to the existential challenge we have in front of us. In order to reach our common goals, we have been actively engaging with the arena. I appreciate the agency's outstanding work in this regard, and I wish to underline in particular the relevant contribution offered by the agency's report and recommendation on accelerating the deployment of offshore and ocean energy. It will be a flagship document of our G20. We also look forward to an ambitious COP26. In the context of our prominent role as partner in the UK, our country will make its part hosting the pre-COP26 negotiation in Milan and the end of September, back-to-back with the Youth for Climate driving the ambition. They are back-to-back so to foster a real interaction among the youth, negotiators and ministers. Indeed, these ongoing processes further strengthen our resolve to make this year a real turning point for all countries towards more sustainable, green and inclusive economies and societies. As a virtuous, ambitious and supportive country, Italy intends to work strenuously to ensure the success of the negotiations. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Undersecretary Di Stefano, and thank you also for your leadership on these very, very important points in this make or break year.